Welcome to a special edition of Crawford County Outdoors. I'm Duane and we are coming to you today from the Sagertown Trap Club. And we're coming to you today on purpose because our local high school trap teams have done great. They had a great season. They've gone off to states, off to nationals, and we're going to start off talking with the coaches here, and we're going to talk to some of the competitors. So I'm really looking forward to this whole show today. And let's start with Larry Price from Maplewood. Larry, how'd it go here? You know, a brand new sport, and to me, it's like it's taken off like crazy.
It did, you know, and Dave Burchard, some guys really did a lot of work to get this put together. Our club in Maplewood, we had 34 kids that came and shot, you know, and they did well. You know, we have kids at all levels, you know, from just starting to advanced, so.
I know the club out there has actually done some renovations to really accommodate this sport more, to make it, upgraded the equipment that was involved and redid the fields that were involved. And so it's like, I think people are taking this seriously, you know, that, to me, that's a very good thing.
It is, you know, and you just hope the kids keep coming back. You know, they're the future of our shooting sports and gun ownership, and it's kind of neat with all the bad things you hear of high school shootings. This is high school kids competing. One of the highlights of this adventure was standing down at the state shoot and looking down a row of 10 fields, all full with high school kids shooting. Pretty neat adventure.
Now, you and I go way back. We shot skeet together for many years at one of the local clubs here, and my thing was that was just practice for hunting season. And it's like, maybe I was looking at that wrong. I mean, here, this is a sport now, you know.
It is.
The kids are competing, you know, and I think it helped me knock those birds down a little bit better, you know, as time went by. When I first went out, I missed them, you know. I was missing them. It's like, I got to figure out how to do this better, you know. So,
yeah.
I took it up so I learned how to practice. But what's the sales pitch for a kid that's, you know, that's I don't know if this is my sport now. What's the sales pitch?
Oh, you know, just I always find something positive, you know, and if kids want to shoot, you know, just try to find something positive and build from there. You know, and at Maplewood we had a terrific team, really good bunch of men and women. You know, they conducted themselves as adults, you know, and really and truly I had a super time with them, you know, and the kids really, it was just presented to them and they either wanted to do it or didn't, you know.
So, Dave Burchard. Now, Dave,
you're on deck, Larry.
We first talked at the parents' meeting at the Sagertown School, and you know, we came out with a camera. It's like, hey, can we film the talk? You know, and you're, you know, introducing this kind of sport that's coming up here a year and a half ago. Here now we are a year and a half later, nationals, and we got, you know, guys that were in the top, you know, couple percent of the nation in shooting. It's like, holy mackerel, man, this sport's taking off here locally. That's a great thing. What's your take?
It has. I'm very pleased when, you know, once we got it started, I was a little tentative even at the meeting that you were at as to what the interest was going to be. But as certainly it's been a big boost for Black Ash and the Sagertown Club. We at Edinburgh have had a youth program under another governing body for a number of years, but we were encouraged to bring the high school program in to see 25 or 35 kids shoot at these, representing these high school at these clubs has been, I think, a real boost in the arm to the membership here. And it was exciting for the first year to have a national championship for this particular league.
So Cambridge Springs, talk about the Cambridge team this year.
We had 21 kids on our team this year, and we had 6 that qualified based on their scores to participate in the team championship, and we sent 3 up that competed in the individual championship. That's the national level. They did very well. Very pleased with the turnout. Our team, we actually had 4 homeschool students, and we had 3 students from outside of the Cambridge attendance area, which they are permitted to.
So they heard about the sport, and they didn't have it at their school, so they were. It's okay to come in.
It is.
Okay.
The rules prohibit or provide for that, and then we actually added another school. LaBeouf added a team this year.
Okay.
So we're happy about that. I lost a good shooter, but he was from LaBeouf, and that's the way it goes. We're here to grow the sport.
So, what's your from year 1 to year 2? I mean, what was the progression like from year 1 to year 2?
Cambridge, we had similar numbers, but I believe Sagertown and Maplewood, you both grew a little bit. Huh?
We did.
But I think all the schools had some seniors that have graduated. Of course, they're no longer eligible, and we had 2 6th graders. Now there'll be 7th graders here in a month that went and made it all the way to nationals. So it was a good experience for them.
Aaron Ashbaugh, Sagertown coach. Well, let me ask you about now your guys. I'm reading in the paper about how Sagertown is finishing near the top here in the state and then off to the nationals and so on. Talk about your year.
We did pretty good. The state shoot. It comes down to the nerves. You talk to a few of the kids that you gotta be composed and they held together pretty good.
How do you teach that? How do you teach that?
It's tough. I don't know if you can teach that. It's self-taught, I think. I don't know. It's just maintaining your composure and getting grasp. But as far as the numbers, some of our better shooters didn't do so good, and one, for instance, the Billy Lilly, he really proved that coming into the game, not being so good, he's one that can really shoot good under pressure type thing, and that's what it takes to do well under pressure.
To me, I see a whole lot of positives for this for being part of a team. I mean, you got your life. You're very frequently you're doing things on your own, but you're doing it as part of an organization. You're part of a team or whatever. That's a good part. But you got to do your part, and you got to learn how to block stuff out and focus on what you're doing and so on. I mean, let me ask you guys to talk about that for a second.
I think the trick to doing that is just going to these competitions and competing. There's no better teacher than that. And the more you do it, I don't know if it ever gets any easier, but you get used to it, and then drop back onto your practice and your preparation, and rely on it.
What do you think, Dave?
I would agree. I think it all comes back to fundamentals, but practice maybe doesn't make perfect, but practice makes you better. And it was interesting, as Larry kind of alluded to, whether you're at Black Ash where you got 2 fields, or you're at the Michigan State Trap Association where you've got 44 fields, and you got 44 fields and 1,400 kids. It's a different animal, but the same fundamentals come through, so you just try and get them to focus on that.
It still works the same, right?
It does.
Yeah, okay.
But pressure gets to you, whether you're my age or 12.
Now, when you had that big sort of regional shoot thing on Memorial Day, when you got it, was that kind of like to get their feet wet, for the bigger
For
stage?
some of them, I believe they had never shot at any place but their home clubs, because that's the way the league is set up. It's a virtual league. All the Sagertown regular season competitions are here. Black Ash are there. Cambridge shoots at Edinburgh. So for some of them, that was their first exposure to shoot head-to-head with anybody else. Yes.
So, Darren, let me ask you to make the sales pitch here for the sport. What's the draw? What's the thing that to really catch people? To get some new youngsters coming up and joining up in this sport.
It comes down to the if you're not athletic type, or maybe on the shy side, this is a good sport to start or to get into. I encourage. They say it's a male sport, but the females we have a few shooting are they're getting to be top notch. So the females, I really gotta give them credit for sticking with it.
Yep.
Some of the handicaps, not handicaps, the season average. We had a female from Sagertown that finished out, I think, with a 21.3. Which is great, and to see some of these girls come in and show up the boys in a manner of speaking. So give them a run for their money. I like to see that.
You bet.
Well, guys, thanks for being with us today, and thanks for getting this sport up here. I think that's a super thing, and I can't wait to talk to some of the competitors here, and really looking forward to talking to them. And thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joining us now, James and Brody and Chase. You guys are all from Cambridge Springs, is that right?
Yep.
Well, James, let me start with you. So tell us about, how'd you get involved in the sport?
My dad.
what was it like? Had you ever tried it before? This came along as a school sport for you?
Well, I hadn't really heard of it before, but I don't know, I liked it when I tried it.
So what's the secret to success? What do you have to what made you get good at this? What were the little any magic tricks?
Not really, just keeping a clear mind, I guess.
So one thing about this sport that I think it's great, you don't have to be the fastest guy in the world or the best bench presser in the world or whatever. And so let's move down the line here. How about you? What helped you with doing well at this?
I guess just like shooting more and more.
What kind of gun do you use, by the way? I want to.
Franke, 12 gauge.
Okay. Do you do that name doesn't ring a bell with me. Is it?
It's made by Benelli.
Okay. A double barrel? That's a
single barrel.
A single. Okay.
Semi-auto.
Specifically just for this, or you can use that for other things too?
I can use it for other things too.
Okay. See, now I have a. Now, to me, it's like, I think this is great to see you guys out here, because I love my favorite thing is going bird hunting in the fall, and if there's nobody that's learning the sport and there's nobody that's really coming along and getting excited about this, and it's like, is that sport going to go away someday? I hate to see that. Chase, what about you? Give us your history there. How'd you get involved here?
My friends were shooting it, so then I decided that I wanted to try it, and it's pretty fun.
What was it like going to the big competition? Going to representing your town and your school. Going into a big competition like that. Let me ask all you guys what your opinion about that.
Well, I was nervous at first, but then I shot like my first round and it all went away, and then it was just like shooting back at home.
So it's kind of like getting that focus, huh? Getting focused on what's going on. So now, from what I understand, there was a lot of people involved in that,
There
right?
was.
What was the facility like, and what was the crowd like there?
It was pretty nice. There was a pretty big crowd compared to like here, but yeah, it was nice.
So when you have your weekly matches here at your local club, it's just near the house and all that kind of stuff, and then you're heading off to a big competition.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little bit extra, a little bit of extra stress and strain. What do you guys think?
It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's really like stressing or anything. I guess it's just like your nerves sometimes get to you, and that can mess you up a little.
Did your score get better or get worse when you went off to the big show?
My score got a little bit better.
There you go. All right, very good. What about you?
I was nervous too. I didn't really think I was gonna do good, but I did all right, I guess.
Now let me ask you guys all this question here. Now, if you were going to talk to someone else who's thinking about maybe they want to try this sport, what would you say to them? How about I get your opinion about that? What would you say to someone who's thinking about this sport?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have to have any like super duper special equipment, and you have to have a million years of experience or whatever, or can you just give it a try?
You can give it a try, I guess.
And what do you guys think?
Just, I'd say do it, because it's awesome.
I'd say, yeah, you should try it.
I like the fact that this sport's open to anybody, junior high, senior high. You can, guys, girls, even if you're in a wheelchair, you can do this sport. I think it's a great thing to open to anybody. And
yeah.
From what I understand, the sport's really taken off and really grown. And you guys leading the pack here. You're big story in the newspaper when you're doing the states, doing the nationals, and all that. Well, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. All right, we've got the Sagertown squad here. Tim, Josh, Bill. So let me ask you guys, how'd the season go? Now, this is something to me. Sagertown, a brand new sport in the school. And now you guys are, doing great at states. You're off to nationals. Holy mackerel! It's something that's brand new. How'd that happen? I mean, tell a story. Tim, how about if you start?
Well, I just joined this year, so I really honestly, I just tried to shoot my best, I suppose.
Had you had some experience with it before that?
None at all. I mean, honestly,
that might be a good thing, right? You didn't have any bad habits or whatever to break,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Okay.
And last autumn, honestly, was the first time I shot a shotgun.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Any particular shotgun that you really like, a particular type that you like?
well, I'm using a Browning BPS right now, and it's served me really well. So,
Okay. Well, Josh, let me ask you the same question. What was it like, going through this?
It was different than all the wing shooting and hunting I've been doing. There was a lot more discipline to it, making sure you keep your head down and be safe and everything.
So the wing, I mean, that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing, and getting out there stomping around, and
Yeah.
and it's like now you want to position your feet right where you think the target's going to be, and all that kind of stuff, right? And when you're out there and you're not sure which way the bird's coming from, or if there even is a bird out there or whatever, and I get you on all that. So any like little tips you could give somebody who's wanting to be better at this?
Just remember to keep your head down, be open to advice from older and younger people. Just listen to people, they'll give you good tips and it might work for you.
Now, when you say keep your head down, you mean keep your
head
chin
down
right
gun,
along.
yeah.
So, and you have a rib on your shotgun that you're sighting down that rib, and yeah. So now, how do you now trap? I've not really done myself. Haven't really done a lot of trap. Did ski, did sporting clays and so on. But trap, you don't really lead them that much, right? I mean,
you don't have to lead them much. A little bit here and there, but not much.
Now, is there a magic choke that you need to have for trap other than?
I know some people that use like improved modified and just regular modified, but I've always shot better with full.
Okay.
I just feel full's better for me.
All right. So, Billy, let's hear your story now. How'd it go? I like your shirt too. It says Nationals 28. How about that? Getting into the Nationals there, huh?
Well, I've been shooting over 2 years. I heard in the high school, the principal goes, "Here, this will be really good for you. Go have fun." Well, then I shot for my first year. Did at the beginning of the year, but I really could progress at the end of the year.
So you got a chance to get your feet wet the first year, and then
I went to state, shot.
Okay.
I think it was an 88. Then came back this year. Started bad, but I got really good. Then went to states, shot a 92. I was the highest overall in the team. Then Nationals came around. I said, sure, I'll go. Well, I was in the singles, shot a 98. Did bad on my second day, got a 92. I finished
90. Now, wait a minute, 92. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. But I get you. You're at the big competition, and everybody's or you're at the top guys all over the place like that.
I finished 274th.
Now there were hundreds and hundreds of people involved in that, right? I mean, like over 1,000, right?
There's 1,400 kids.
So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you got more years before you're done with the sport here. You got some more time to keep working on it.
Hopefully.
Okay. So what do you think for down? Well, let me ask all you guys. What are you guys doing? What's your plans for down the road? You got to head off to college. You got sort of job things you want to think about, already, or is it too soon to be thinking about that?
Working.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I plan on going to college and then heading off to dentistry school.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
and I might go off to a UTI for automotive technology, so get into the mechanics section of cars and things like that.
So the mechanics again. Let me ask you. Now we talked about. Did I talk to you about the shotgun that you use?
Yes.
Asking? All right. So you guys, what kind of guns? What's your favorite? Do you like a semi-auto? Do you like a?
I got an over/under that I shoot with. It just fits me better and comes up real nice.
Okay.
I've been shooting my TriStar for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it.
What do you think it is about it that makes you love it?
I'm used to it.
Okay.
I'm used to that gun a lot.
So there's no magic gun that's got to be that's the one that everybody's got to have that one or whatever. It's
and
just
every gun is different. Every gun shoots completely different. I had my old gun that I first started using was a modified choke, and I got this new BPS and I put the modified choke in, and it shot so different that I had to start using the full choke in my BPS to even get close to what the modified in my other gun was.
So at the competition now, let me ask you what I've asked some of the other folks. What was it like? I mean, you had your local match right here at your home host club here, and all of a sudden now you're out in a big stage, and there's all kind of 1,400 people there or whatever. That changes things, right? I mean, that put a little different stress level on you, or a little different nervousness?
Not really. I just put my head down on my gun and focus. I had my family behind me and my whole team. I had nothing else to worry about.
There you go. got to be a fun thing to have, to be, you're representing your town, you're representing your school there, and you're at the national match there. That's awesome. What do you guys, what was it like there on the big stage?
When I went to States, it was just sitting there shaking. I was so nervous, and that's what really got me there, is the nerves will really get to you, and you just gotta sit there and focus. It's no different than shooting here at our club.
Now, how do you turn that off? I mean, the nerves, that's gonna, you need steadiness, you need calmness, right?
You
how do you get control of it?
Get used to it, shoot a couple times at different places. Don't just stay at one place and shoot, because I've started going to Edinburgh and stuff like that to shoot.
Tim, what about you?
Well, I mean, I was pretty nervous as well at the States, and just got to keep focused on it and just keep your mind off of everything else and anybody else. Just imagine you're the only person standing there and just shoot it.
There you go. Billy, one more question for you. So, okay, let's say you miss one, and you didn't miss very many, right? You didn't miss very many, but you missed one. What do you do now on the next shot? I mean, how do you get that one out of your head?
I just let it go. Don't think about the bird that you missed. You already missed it. Who cares? You're moving on to your next one.
There you go. Well, guys, congratulations. Great year. Good luck next time around.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us here and for letting everybody know about it. I'm really tickled to hear your experience there. That's great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Joining us now, Carly and Peyton from Sagertown. So, tell us about the experience here. What was it like to be part of the Pennsylvania Clays League?
Well, it's definitely been an experience. At first I wasn't sure about it. I was used to like volleyball and like softball and just those kind of sports.
Just going to ask you, when you were little, did you think you'd be doing this?
No.
This would be a sport? Okay.
No. I always shot skeet when I was little, and I really liked that. And my grandpa shot trap, so I thought maybe sometime I would try it, but I didn't expect to do it weekly as kind of like a school thing.
Now, were you in it last year and this year?
Yeah,
okay.
I just graduated. So.
Now, I remember coming to the very first parents meeting and introducing you to the sport, and the room was packed. I was really surprised by that.
It's grown a lot since the start. We started out with I think 25 kids, and this year we had 33.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Peyton, what about you? What was your?
This was my first year, so it was a little bit shaky at first, but I got the hang of it, and it was fun to do.
And any little tips you could give to somebody else who might be thinking about this one?
Definitely stick with it, because at first you'll be not very good, but you'll get better.
See, now whenever I go, and I don't go as much anymore as I used to go. I used to go and do ski, like you said, and it's like if you haven't gone for a while, my jaw actually get a little bit sore, and maybe my shoulder might even get a little bit
some
sore.
Bruising, yeah.
What about that? Did you guys have experience with that, or?
At first my shoulder was sore, but I've been doing it for a couple years now, so it's just I'm used to it. But.
Okay.
I have a pad right here, so my shoulder never gets hurt.
Now you're pointing to your left shoulder.
I'm a lefty.
You're lefty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a righty.
You probably don't find a padded shoulder thing that's got the left hand, or do you?
I actually have a gun that you can adjust the butt to your shoulder, so that's really helpful.
There you go. Okay. Any other little tech tips that help out with that?
Not really, honestly. Just vests help. Some people wear the little zip tie things that go around you, but I don't know. I like the vest because it guards your shoulder, and then so that's.
So it's not like the gun's going to beat you to death,
Right.
It's more like that little padding. So now let me ask you this one, just because I don't know the answer. I'm asking it. So you need to really pull that gun in tight to your shoulder, right? You don't want to keep it loose, because then it's going to bang you, right? It's going to thump you. Yeah. So now let me ask you about girls in the sport. This kind of seems like a guy's sport, but it's not. I mean, here you guys are, and going to the big competitions and everything. What was that like?
I think no one really expects girls to do it, but I don't know. I like it, and I think it's a good sport for girls to get into. So it's just fun. It's just everyone that does it is really nice, really helpful. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a girl sport too. Yeah. You really fit into it. Yeah.
Now let me ask you what some of the other competitors have talked about too is okay, you're at your regular match here at your home club, and you're kind of getting into the routine of that. Now you go to the big match and whatever, and I'm sure there's nerves, right?
Oh yeah.
So how'd you deal with that?
I didn't deal with them too well. I always get too nervous, and then I overthink it. When you overthink it, like, you just, like, tend to get, like, just your reactions aren't as good.
Now, Peyton, what about you?
I just think of it as just being at my home field and just shooting as I would normally.
So let me put what you said in my words. So you're kind of blocking everything else out. You're just focused on the sport, right? I mean, you're just focused on, okay, I'm shooting that bird, right? I'm not worried about all the big, now there's a big crowd around and all that kind of stuff. So any tips for someone who's thinking about what sport's going to be my sport? You know, what would you say? What would you say to that question?
I mean, I would definitely try it out. You won't know till you try it. So
yeah,
it's what I did, and I loved it.
And there's a pretty good practice stretch before the season starts, right? In the early spring, you can get out and give it a try, right?
There's a winter league as well, and then a fall league too. Every season there's a league, which is nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Well, it's pretty neat to hear Sagertown being like named up there as one of the best teams in Pennsylvania. I think that's awesome. And heading off to the Nationals and all that kind of stuff. Well, congratulations, guys, on doing real well and for being with us here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joining us now, Sarah and Haley. You guys are from Sagertown also. So tell us about the season. What was it like? Quite a memorable thing to me.
I mean, this was my first time shooting for the school league. I wasn't able to shoot last year. So it was kind of nervous at first, but as the season went on, it got better.
Okay, what about you?
I honestly had a rough season because I went and got a new gun and kind of couldn't get used to it, but I switched over to my other one during states and got back into it, so
what
it was interesting.
What was the magic gun that works best for you?
Mossberg 500.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now I see on your hat you've got a Browning logo on your hat there. Does that mean something? Did you use a Browning gun?
Yeah, I shoot a BT99.
Okay.
Browning.
Okay. Anything that you would suggest to somebody else who's thinking about this? Now, maybe like an auto loader versus an over and under, or whatever. The auto loader maybe doesn't kick you as hard, or anything like that advice you'd have?
I think it's just preference. I prefer a pump or a semi-automatic.
Okay.
It is preference, but I like a BT99. That was my first gun. After I got into it, it was my first real trap gun.
So let me ask you about going from your local match here and then going off to the big competitions after. What was that like? Compare and contrast. What was that change like?
I mean, I've been shooting for 4 years, so I know what it kind of is like. It's not as nervous as
when you have a big crowd around. Did it make you more nervous?
No.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. Okay. What about you?
I focus a lot while I shoot, so the amount of people doesn't really bother me.
See, now if that was the one thing that I think would be a great thing for everybody to learn from this sport, that ability to focus, and to kind of block out the other distractions or whatever, that helps you anywhere in your life. Pretty much everything that you do. So this is a good thing. Yes, it's a sport, and all that, but it's a good thing. Well, for a lot of reasons. One for that. Another for you're part of a team and you're all working together. But you got to do your part. I mean, you got to do and that's the way life is, right? I mean, So what's your plans for down the road? You got? Is it too soon to be worrying about that yet, or?
No, I'm planning on going into the Air Force.
Good for you. Yeah. Oh, good for you. What about you, Haley?
I plan on being a machinist.
Okay. All right. So, any tips for someone who's wondering what's going to be their sport down the road? Anything that you suggest about this one?
Just try it, I guess. It's pretty easy to pick up and it's pretty fun. So.
Okay.
I mean, this is a fun sport. You just got to learn that it's a mental game. So it plays with your mind a lot. So if you can learn to understand and to block out your thoughts in your head, then you'll be all right.
So is there any little magic thing that you force into your head whenever to keep all those other distractions out of there?
I tell myself one bird at a time.
There you go. I like it. Doesn't have to. And we're not talking rocket science. We're talking about what do I need to do to focus, right? That's the thing. Well, very
you're
good.
Not thinking about like what you got to do after this or what you should have done, or you're not thinking about the bird that you lost or thinking about the bird you hit.
Thinking about what's going on right now, right? What's right in front of me right now? What do I got to get done here?
Yeah.
There you go. Excellent. Well, guys, thanks very much for being with us today. Congratulations on a great season. It was great to meet you guys.
Great to meet you too.
Joining us now, Seth and Zach Lang. So now you guys are brothers.
Yep.
So now does that put a little extra like sibling rivalry thing that throw it into the sport there?
Oh, for sure it does, because yeah, I've been shooting a little bit longer than Zachary, so when he gets a little bit better than me, he always gives a nice little rub in the face.
Wants to rub it in a little bit
yeah,
there.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, he doesn't let me.
Now, do you trade back and forth? Who's got the better round sometimes? Is that
all the
okay.
time?
All
All
right.
the time, back and forth.
So now when you get that little sibling thing going on, that bonuses the team a little bit there, because you guys are like an extra, Now, how do you deal with the pressure, of not just that, but I mean, it's, hey, school. I'm representing my school. How do you deal with that?
I just try to stay calm and just try not to think about it. Really, I try to block out every distraction out of my mind so that I can shoot the best I can. And I just hope everyone else can do the same.
What about you, Zach?
I go up and I think to myself, I'm gonna try my hardest, and whatever I shoot, I shoot.
There you go. There you go. Well, tell us about the experience this year. I mean, you had regular matches on a weekly basis, and then you got some regional competitions, and then so give the story here.
Okay, so we started with the high school league. We were doing that every Sunday afternoon, and me personally, I did pretty well. I finished out the season very well. I was very pleased with my scores, and I was extremely excited to go to nationals. When I got the invite, I was shaking because I was so happy. And then we finally got up there and everything, and shot good in practice rounds, and then when competition came, it's when the real nerves really hit you, and I had never dealt with that kind of nerves before, and I couldn't deal with them too well. But I mean, I was happy with what I shot. I didn't shoot the best I wanted to, but that's the best I could shoot for that day.
Did you feel like your scores dropped off? Like you could have done? I mean, did you feel like you could have done a better score?
Yeah, I feel like I could have done way better score. Yes.
So after having been there once, now do you think maybe another time around? Now you got your feet on the ground with
that?
that?
Yeah, now I got my feet on the ground. The first time jitters out. I think that next year, if I get invited, that I think I'll be able to really be successful during it.
Now, Zach, what about you?
Well, as you said, we did the Sunday afternoons and everything, and at first I didn't have the best average at all, and I didn't think I was gonna get invited to nationals. And then when I got the invite, I was really surprised. And then when we got up there, I was man. And
on the big stage, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was really nervous. Then on my squad there was a guy who was also from Pennsylvania. And I made friends with him, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make friends, have some fun, go out there, shoot, do whatever.
Okay. So at the end of the day, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about a sport for down the road? What would your advice be about how to go about picking? Is this one to try?
This is definitely the funnest sport that I've ever played, and I'm an avid athlete, so I've played multiple sports, and I enjoy this one the most. You don't have to have a certain type of lifestyle to do this. It's open to everybody, and it's not a team thing. It's an individual thing, and then it's a team thing. And I would greatly encourage people to do it, and at least reach out and try it at least.
See, I'd say that life's like that, sports like that. I mean, you got to do your part, and then everybody doing their part makes the team better. And so you got that. I mean, good for you. So what do you think, Zach?
It's a very fun sport. It teaches you ways of when you're hunting and different types of stuff. Good for everybody. I see kids very young, people very old trying it, and they have a lot of fun. They can come out and shoot better than they have before, and you can always beat yourself in it. So that's the best part.
See, now when I never got started with shooting sports, so I was older than you guys are now, and because my sports were in the winter in the gym, and I was always jealous because my brother, he didn't do winter sports. He was out having fun, going hunting and whatever, and I was always jealous. So it's like I couldn't wait to get out and try that out.
Yeah.
And first time I tried to shoot a pheasant, I missed. I'm like, So I went to the range and started practicing or whatever. And that helped me out. I don't know. You guys like to go hunting too?
Yeah. I hunt. I do a lot of waterfowl hunting, so with this is exactly what I need to do, and when I go out there, I don't normally miss what I'm shooting.
There you
at.
go. There you go. Yeah, having a good dog and then hitting what you're aiming at.
Yeah,
That really matters when you're out for hunting. So,
yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys. Thanks for talking with us. It was a great season, and I think the whole community's proud of what was going on here. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joined now by members of the Maplewood team here. So let me ask you guys to introduce yourself, and I want to hear about the season and how this went. So LJ, you want to go first here?
LJ Voris. I did pretty good for my first time, really good for my first time. I placed like 79th total, which is really good.
Let me come back and ask you some more questions. But
I'm Sean Wheelock. I didn't do real great at the beginning of the season. I came in 805th for the high school league.
805th in the national.
Yes, in the
All right, good. I want to ask you more about that. Okay, Sean.
I'm Cameron Ward. I ended up 148th in the national shoot. It was all right for me. I was nervous the first day and ended up picking it up better the second day.
And so let me ask you the difference between going on your weekly, Sunday afternoon, your local shoots and so on, and then moving up to the bigger stage and the bigger stage. What was that like? Curious each one of your thoughts on that.
It's just a lot more nerve-wracking. Like you look down the line, there's hundreds and hundreds of people all along the sides, just dozens and dozens watching you. It can be really nerve-wracking.
Do you have a way in your mind that you can kind of block that out, or that you can, kind of just push past that?
I just try to focus on shooting and think, you can do better, you can do better, you can do better. Just the entire time.
John, what about you?
It didn't really faze me that bad at nationals, probably because I'd been through states twice, but the first time at states, I shot terrible because it was nerve-wracking.
Now you said when you started out, you weren't happy with your scores, but they got better now.
Yeah.
Any magic tricks? I mean, anything that that helped you get better through that time?
I just had people helping me, and
so you were listening to advice from the coaches and from others. And
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just try to keep shooting and
keep doing it. Right there, you go. There you go.
Towards the beginning of the year, it was better for me, because I ended up shooting really good this year than compared to last year. Like this year, I started out shooting, I shot my first 25, my first practice shoot. And after that, it was just a lot of coaching after that, like mind games and stuff. And everybody telling me just take one bird at a time.
There you
go. That helped me a lot.
It's just somewhere I was going to ask you next. And any tips, like for someone who's maybe totally brand new at this, and it's like, what can I do to get a better score? Any thoughts? I mean, that's a great one right there. Any other thoughts?
Just don't think too hard about your score. It's always one bird at a time, and just focus on you and try not to focus on everybody else.
And don't let misses get you down. Just if you miss, just keep shooting.
What do you think, John?
Just think there's no bird that you haven't seen. I say that to myself all the time. They're all the same birds. There's no bird you haven't seen. Just you see the bird, shoot the bird.
See, I've never done a whole lot of trap. I've done it a couple times, but it's like when you're way over to the one side, maybe to the left side or the right side, and the bird really takes off the other way.
Yeah.
Isn't that one really tricky? That one really tricky. Or if it takes off right in front of you, at an angle.
Yeah.
How do you handle those ones?
Just keep the gun.
Keep the gun moving. Keep swinging.
Swing through the bird.
Lots of other sports. It's all about not shooting sports, not moving, and how you can make it not moving. This is like the opposite, right? This is how you control the movement, of your equipment. So, right. Yeah. You guys have any particular favorite equipment that works best for you all?
I just like to have a bag around my waist. I can't shoot good with a vest and trap. I just can't.
What do you get? You kind of
angled up. You feel it. Feels like a restriction movement.
I bet if I asked that question to 50 people, I'd get 50 different answers about that. Because somebody else, that's maybe their favorite thing, right?
Yeah, it's just personal preference.
Yeah. What about you, Sean?
I really like the vest, but it gives you a little bit softer side, that kind of pads you a little. And glasses that help you see the bird. Those are key.
A certain color to them that helps with that?
Yeah.
Is that yellowish orangish kind of color that helps?
I have that, and then I have pink too, or purple. Purple looks really good.
That makes it stand out more?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I shoot really good with a pouch, like with a side pouch. That's really all I've ever shot with, so I'm really keen to that. And I've got like a yellow tinnish glasses that I've been shooting with now for just a year now, but it's definitely helped me from last year.
Maybe that's part of it too, is like being used to it and knowing, you know, it's something that you get into a kind of get into the zone.
I've been shooting my gun now for 2 years, and I can definitely tell because I'm more used to it. And I don't really want to change my gun just because I'm so used to it now.
Which one do you use?
I use a TriStar.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Sean?
I use a Kohler single.
Okay. Single shot.
Yeah. Single.
Okay. I think I asked you before, but which one do you use?
I use a Remington.
Okay. Okay. Well, any thoughts for someone's thinking about, you know, maybe I want to do a sport somewhere down the road, you know, and what would you tell them about this sport?
Just keep shooting. You're gonna get better. It just takes some time.
Do you have like the occasional plateau and you think like I'm stuck here forever?
Yeah.
And then you break through.
You think you're stuck there forever, but just keep shooting. Maybe change up small things. That helps sometimes.
What about you, Sean?
One of the biggest things, make sure your gun fits. Because when I started out, I had a gun that didn't fit.
Describe the fitting.
Like
for someone that's brand new.
Your head won't. If you don't get your head into it, and if you go to swing, you'll take your head off the stock.
Okay. So if the stock isn't the right length for you,
yeah.
and there's guys at the gun shop that can help you with that.
Yeah.
If you got to really cock your head way over, right?
Yeah.
You're saying that it puts you in a real awkward position.
You want your head more upright for trap, especially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I'd really just say for if you're gonna start trap shooting, the main key is to keep your head down and just keep swinging. And if you see the bird really well, you know you lifted your head. Because that's happened to me.
That's one thing I hear a lot of folks talk about. Is like I want the gun to shoot where I'm looking. You know, I don't have to aim necessarily real specifically, but I want to get into a motion. You know, so that the gun's it's going to be where I'm looking with my dominant eye. Right? Is that the kind of thing you're talking about? Yep. There you go. Well, guys, congratulations! Great year. Great to see this sport taking off. I think it's a wonderful thing for the future. You know, for for this sport and for other sports. For guys getting out hunting. I think this is great. You know, for guys, gals, anybody's doing this sport. I think that's a super thing. So congratulations! Thanks for being with us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to all of our high school trap competitors. I think that's super for them just in the second year to be off at the states, off at the nationals, and doing great. And thanks for them talking with us today. I know not necessarily every high school student's real happy to talk with a microphone in their face and then talk in front of the camera. So we appreciate that. I think it's a great thing for the future of the sport to have folks out here for outdoor sports all the way around, to have our young folks out here trying this out. Well, thank you for being with us today on Crawford County Outdoors. We'll talk to you next time.